This is a highly requested video that should be helpful for a lot of us. You can use this for stretching, strengthening in addition to class, or in lieu of class if you just can't get to a ballet class and want to do something at home. Hello dancers, welcome back, and may I introduce you to the ballet floor exercise video. Like I said, you can do these on your day off or in addition to your ballet classes. So start out just sitting on your butt with a straight back, and we're just going to start warming up our feet with basic flex and point in parallel, 6th position, and then we will gradually open our legs up using our thigh muscles into 1st position. This is going to start activating your turnout muscles. We need to keep those turnout muscles ready for when we get back to ballet class. And then we can start to reverse. I gotta say real quick, this is not my floor combination. I got this from my teacher. I'm copying her. Credit goes to Miss Irina Lebedeva, my favorite ballet teacher. This is all her. And then keep working your feet, maybe isolate them one at a time, the same way we would be warming up our feet in a traditional ballet class by doing tendus and stuff like that. Now we are going to roll back and forth to stretch our back and our hamstrings. This is kind of the fun version of doing a port-a-bras forward to stretch your back. The accent is down, so you kind of hold it down for a second as if you're trying to reach your toes. And hopefully every time you rock forward, you'll get a little closer to your toes. And also keep your body close to your legs. This will help keep your abs engaged, and it will keep your back strong and your arm position strong. You should feel like you can reach your toes a little easier every time you roll. So now that you're feeling a little bit more warmed up, try to hold the last one. See if you can actually grab your toes, get your nose to your knees, and try to relax. Try not to hold any tension. Try not to grip your leg muscles or anything like that. Just let your whole body kind of melt into the stretch and take a nap or something. Just relax. The next exercise is a combination of strengthening and stretching. You're going to do changements in the air, so you're going to beat your legs crisscross all the way up slowly. Use your belly muscles, and when you reach the top, you're going to open your legs to stretch your inner thighs in like a straddle. Legs come back together. Beat slowly on the way down. Really try to hold them just above the floor using your abs before dropping them to the floor. And then repeat. Use those leg muscles, those turnout muscles, beat, beat, beat like you're jumping, except not really. Stretch your toes out to the side. Maybe your toes can touch the floor. See how far you can get this side straddle split. And then bring them back up. Keep them turned out. Keep beating. Use those thigh muscles. Use those abs. Hold it right above the floor before dropping. Okay, last time, unless you want to do more. You can do as many as you want, but I say to do at least 3 sets, so that you're really getting that stretch and you're really getting those abdominal muscles working and you're engaging your thighs and your turnout. At least 3 sets, please. Thank you. So now that we got those inner thighs warmed up, now let's do a little side split. It does not have to be a perfect, flat, 180-degree side split. Don't force it. This is more about stretching side to side, stretching your upper back, and it also stretches your hips a little bit also, but you don't need a flat 180-degree side split to achieve this stretch. We want you to stretch your muscles, not put a strain on your ligaments. You can attempt to walk forward and get your belly or your chest to the floor. It's okay if you can't reach it yet. I can't either, but there's another little exercise that somehow seems to help. We're going to keep our arms in third and rock to one leg, and then alternate and rock forward and backward to the other leg. I don't know, something about rocking back and forth from side to side. Either it opens up the hips a little bit more, or the thigh muscles, or something in the back. I don't know, but after I do this little back and forth stretchy thing, I can get so much closer to the floor than I was before. So you should be able to go farther now. Isn't that cool? Cool little trick. So anytime you stretch, you have to relax. Try not to grip any muscles. Try to eliminate all the tension. You really just got to relax and breathe. All stretches are a little uncomfortable, but don't force it if you feel pain. Okay, so now that we have the inner thighs extra warmed up, we're going to put your pinky toes on the floor and do like a grande plie on the floor. Open those knees to the side, and then you are going to slide your legs down, keeping your heels up towards the ceiling. This is a very strange feeling. It's going to activate your sartorius muscle, which is a big turnout muscle. It's a tiny one, but it plays a big role in turnout. So you're going to feel this in your inner thighs. So you want your legs to feel flat like a pancake. So drop your knees to the side, almost as if you want them to touch the floor, and slide your pinky toes. You want to keep your heels up to the ceiling as long as possible. You're going to notice it gets harder and harder to keep your heels up as you straighten your legs, but the more you fight for it, the more you are going to activate that little sartorius muscle. Okay, so let's take a break from feeling the burn and stretch. Cross one ankle over your knee, and then grab your knee with both of your hands and pull that knee towards your chest. This is going to stretch your butt muscle, the side of your thigh, maybe a little bit of your IT band. A lot of dancers are very tight on their outer thighs because they concentrate so much on rotating and turning out and strengthening the turnout muscles, but they never really stretch the turnout muscles, which means turning in a little bit. So we're going to straighten that leg like a big développé to the front, and I want you to actually stretch that leg both turned out and turned in. You can actually twist your leg using your hands to stretch it turned in. It's important to strengthen and stretch muscles that we use in everyday life in parallel. I know we focus on turn out, turn out, turn out, turn out everything, but consider that your turnout muscles can be held back by surrounding muscles that are understretched. So we really have to focus on the whole body, not just the turnout muscles. Carefully bring your leg to the side in à la seconde. My personal preference is to spend a lot of time in this stretch because it feels good, and I always have some issues with my à la seconde, développés, and grand battements and stuff. So we're going to cross it over, and again we are kind of stretching a turned in leg. It's not turned out, but this stretch will also help open up your chest, stretch your lower back, your butt, your hamstrings. If this stretch is too painful for you, you can bend the knee like a turned in passe and try to press that knee to the floor instead. And also make sure you keep your head facing away from the knee or the stretching leg. This will give you a deeper stretch in your back and across the chest. I mean, I don't really feel a stretch in my chest, but other people say that they do, so go for it. And then we are going to do the same thing with the other leg. Cross your ankle over the knee, grab the knee with both hands, and pull the knee to your chest. Stretch the butt muscles, those side thigh muscles, bottom thigh muscles. This can be a painful stretch if you are very tight, so try to release any tension. Just turn your legs into jelly and relax and breathe. Same thing, extend your leg like a développé. Stretch the leg turning in and turning out. If you have tight turned in parallel muscles, those can hold back your stretchy, flexible turned out muscles. We have tightness in places that we don't pay attention to, and we don't even realize that those tight muscles are sabotaging our flexibility that we work so hard for. In fact, this leg, I think that's the case with this leg. It always gives me trouble, so I'm probably going to hang out in this stretch a little longer, try to work it out, figure out what is tight, what is not working for me right now. But let's skip all of that and go into the stretch where we cross the leg over. Twist your upper body away from the leg. This is stretching your turn-in muscles that you may be neglecting otherwise. Again, if this hurts, you can bend the knee into like a turned-in retiré position and press the knee to the floor. So if your legs are feeling like they're nice and stretched, we can sit up. We can do the little butterfly stretch. Try to press your knees into the floor. You can rock back and forth just to kind of open up your hips. You can also rock side to side so that you stretch your neck, stretch your side muscles. Some people feel very tight in their neck. They feel very tight when they stretch side to side. I don't have that problem. So whatever feels good for you, you can bring your nose to your toes, bend forward. Again, just whatever feels good. I don't want you to be in pain. So the next thing we're going to do is put one leg over the other. I stack my knees, but you don't have to overcross your legs like I do. You can just put one shin on top of the other instead of putting one knee on top of the other. But I find doing this gives me a deeper stretch when I bend forward. I believe this is targeting some hamstrings or the IT band. People with tight IT bands can't seem to stack their knees the way I do. So you can stretch it out by stacking one leg on top of the other. Twist your upper body side to side. It gives you a deeper stretch. Again, you don't have to overcross your legs like I am. You can just stack your shins one on top of the other and bend forward to achieve this deep stretch. You'll probably feel it in your butt. You'll probably feel it on the undersides of your thigh muscles, almost like your butt cheek to your knee. Typically, the deeper stretch is on the top leg when you bend side to side, so just see what feels good for you, what stretches you out. Don't do anything that hurts too much. Okay, so we've sufficiently targeted our legs. Now it's time to work on our back. Let's do some back stuff. So we're going to do some of those yoga poses. I don't know, downward dog, angry cat, something, I don't know, the dog and cat, cat and dog, where you do like an extreme arch in one direction and then extreme bend in the other position, hunching up and arching down. Incorporate your tailbone and your neck. Try to get every little vertebra to make these big arching movements, stretch it all out. Now pick a hand and you're going to slide it under you, slide it on the floor and drop that shoulder to the floor, and then release the top arm and wave your hand up to the sky, stretch up to the ceiling. This is stretching your back, your upper back too, while still kind of opening the lower back, I think. That's what I've been told. I don't know. Again, I'm hypermobile. I was just born hypermobile, so I'm naturally a little more flexible than the average person, so I don't always feel a stretch when other people feel a stretch. But I can tell you that doing this stretch will actually help your twisty, pinchy second and fourth arabesque port-de-bras when the time comes. So this is a good one for your upper back. So to continue working on your back, lay on your belly, put your hands under your shoulders and press your shoulders up. Well, press your shoulders down, like don't shrug, and look side to side. This is just, again, stretching the back, helping to loosen you up if you don't naturally have a flexible back. This is a good one. Again, don't shrug your shoulders, don't sink your neck down in there. Press your shoulders down as if you're standing at the bar and pressing your shoulders down. But now we are going to contract those same muscles. So you're going to fly like Superman or Superwoman by lifting your legs and your arms up in the air at the same time. Contract your back and your butt. This can hurt your hip bones or pubic bone, so I suggest maybe doing this on a squishy mat or a rug, especially this next thing that I'm going to have you do. Grab your feet from the outside, so your arm reaches outside of the ankle and you're going to grab your instep with your hand. Be very careful with this one. You're going to push your feet into your hands, back towards the wall that's behind you, and it's going to kind of lift your upper body up. And if you are comfortable with this, try to roll front and back a little bit. But if it is not comfortable for you, if it is very painful to roll, then just practice pressing your feet into your hands and lifting your legs and shoulders up and down, and then when that feels comfortable, then you can start to roll. Okay, we have reached probably the hardest part of this exercise. You're going to prop yourself up in that seal stretch and try to let go with your hands, but keep your upper body propped up. You can use the weight of your arms and your back muscles to keep your upper body up, and you are definitely going to feel a burn. So just take a look at this from another angle. You're going to push your feet into your hands, and by doing that, it pulls your shoulders up. And you're going to roll carefully if you can. Again, if you can't, don't. And then prop yourself up and try to keep your upper body where it is, but without using your hands to hold you up. This is really hard. It took me months to figure out how to lock those back muscles, so don't get discouraged if you don't get it right away. Your back is probably on fire now, so just take a moment to stretch, curl up in a ball, stretch out your back. So do the opposite of arching, curl your back just in a little ball, relax for a moment. And after you've had your break, and now that your back is sufficiently warmed up, we're going to go onto our hands and knees and do some grande battements behind us in Arabesque. So your back is already warmed up, but we're also going to target our butt muscles and our hamstrings, kind of strengthening them. And then for extra, you can try to bend your knee and reach for your head. Don't actually kick your head like I did here. That would kind of hurt. So try to be careful, bend your leg, but don't actually kick your head. Okay, I had to stop for a minute and readjust my hair. I messed up my own hair with my foot. Little hair wardrobe malfunction. Do the other leg. I'm not doing this full out. I'm just going to kind of skip it. And then we're going to go into a lunge. I want you to push your weight forward so that you are stretching the front of your hip. So don't keep your weight back for this one, not yet. Again, the goal is to keep your weight pressed forward. So really try to stretch the front of your hip. And then after we get a deep stretch in the front of our hip, then you can kind of sit back and put your butt towards your heel, and then we will stretch the front leg, stretch the hamstring. You can sit your butt back on your heel, try to get your nose to your knee if you want to, and when you're feeling stretched out, then we will carefully try for a split. Try to keep your hip bones facing forward, so you don't want to have an awkward half twisty side split upper body thing. You want to keep your hips facing forward. If a split feels comfortable for you, you can bend your upper body to the front leg, reach forward. You can reach backwards, try to grab that back foot. It will stretch your quad, but only if you feel ready. Again, the goal is not to injure you or make it harder to move. It's the opposite. I want you to feel ready for a ballet class. I want you to feel like you are warmed up, stretched, but also have all your muscles engaged, so they will be ready to dance again. So this floor exercise kind of targets all the things in your body that you would be using in a ballet class, but you don't need a ballet class to do it. We're targeting all these parts of our bodies on the floor. You can do it at home. We're doing it in a non-balletic way. So even though it's not a full ballet class, it's still keeping your ballet body in tune. Okay, so back to these splits. Again, try to keep your hip bones forward. Don't slouch. If you want to play around with the back leg, see what feels better, you can rotate in or rotate it out. Imagine you're doing your grande jeté or grande saut de chat, like a leap. What does your back leg want to do? How does it feel? One side may be tighter than the other. Working on the floor is a good time to make sure your body is working symmetrically. So now that we've worked on splits, let's try to apply that same stretch into our grande battements. You need those same muscles. So lay on your back and give me a second. I'm trying to find a way to prop my head on my bun without my bun getting in the way. And we're going to do those grande battements. You're going to kick up and then try to control it on the way down. So don't just plop it down or let it slam down on the floor. Try to just control it on the way down. The same way you would do a grande battement at the barre or in the center, you want the force and the speed to drive your leg up quickly and then control it and slow it down on the way down. So it's fast up, slow down, fast up, slow down. Do the same thing to the side. You're going to eventually do these on all sides in all directions. Try to maintain your turnout even when you're laying on your front, your side, your back. So imagine your feet still have to land in a first position. So don't let them turn in. And when you go to the side, grande battements to the side or développés to the side, the leg feels like it's going behind the shoulder, not in front of the shoulder. And then we're going to roll over on our bellies to do grand battements and arabesque. This is surprisingly difficult. This is probably the most difficult. You want to imagine that your movement starts in the butt. A lot of people tend to start moving their leg from their hamstring instead and neglect the butt entirely. But try to use your butt and try to keep your shoulders even. Don't twist your upper body. And again, try to keep your feet turned out as if you are standing in first position. I know it's easier said than done, and I can tell my left side is so weak. My leg doesn't want to go any higher. Try to keep your knees straight too. This is just difficult. This is difficult all around, so don't feel bad if it feels weird and awkward. I'm flipping onto my side to start doing grand battements with the other leg to the side. You can do the directions in any order that you want to. I did leg to the front, leg to the side, leg to the back. And then while I was on my belly, I stayed doing grand battements to the back and then to the side, to the front. Do it however you want. Front, side, back side, front, front, side, back. Do whatever. The good news is we are almost done. These grand battements weren't so bad. It was probably one of the easier things we've done today. So this is the last thing that we're doing. Okay, it's the last hard thing that we're doing. This is the last hard exercise of the routine. So we're going to do a sitting cabriole. So a cabriole is when you beat your legs in the air. We're going to do this sitting. So you're going to bring one leg up and beat the other leg. And this works your abs and your arms. If you can keep a strong port-de-bras and a strong back, this will help. So right leg up, beat, and then back down. And then you're going to switch legs and you're going to do left leg up, beat, and down. So you want to use your arms, use your back, and use your ab muscles. These will all help. You will get abs if you do this exercise enough times. If you want a little bonus, you can do both legs up at the same time. That is kind of the hardest part of this exercise. So repeat this as many times as you want to. Repeat until your abdominal muscles are screaming at you. Keep your back straight. Keep your arms strong. Bonus points, both legs at the same time. And slowly come back down. So that's probably the most tiring thing that we do today. But congratulations, you made it. You made it through the hardest part of this ballet floor exercise video. Now that you've done it, you can do your own stretching. I like to do the frog stretch. If there are other things that you want to work on, you are welcome to have some free time. You can also start incorporating some barre movements if you want to. By sitting, like if you just do a plie while sitting, it will help you find symmetry. You will see that one leg or one ab muscle or one back muscle is stronger than the other. You can do small little rond de jambes sitting on the floor. You can do them to the front. You can do them en dehors. You can do them en dedans. Take inventory, check in with your body, see if one leg feels stronger or weaker than the other. Do your hips tend to twist? Does your upper body tend to twist? What is going on? Laying on your belly is always a good way to figure out what your hips are doing, what your back muscles are doing, what your butt and hamstring muscles are doing. I find that I can target a lot of weak spots in my body by working on my belly and trying to lift my legs into like arabesque positions and stuff like that. So hopefully these are helpful for you, and congratulations, we are all done. You made it. You did the ballet floor exercise, and a special thanks to Steve, who was my cameraman today.